Moonlight filtered faintly through the air as wind drifted through the empty forest. Alone, Linny moved forward. A new screen appeared, displaying the dungeon's details. Wolf Forest, level 1 to 3, beginner difficulty. New players were advised to enter in groups and cooperate for safe completion. The description warned of bloodthirsty wolves, fast, sharp, and nearly impossible to escape once surrounded. It explained that the dungeon was difficult for first-time players, but with proper teamwork, casualties could be avoided, and even earning a B rank was considered impressive. Healing springs were scattered throughout the forest to restore class systems, keeping players alive while quietly reducing the importance of priests. However, if anyone wandered off or failed to eliminate all the wolves in time, the pack would regroup, swarm, and wipe out everything in its path. Worse still, entering the forbidden zone deep within the forest meant instant death. None of it made Linny hesitate. His eyes gleamed with ambition. If he possessed a god-level talent, there was no reason to settle for mediocrity. He was aiming straight for the forbidden zone. With that resolve, Linny bolted deep into the forest. Fierce howls and savage roars echoed from within. This was the wolves' den. Each beast had clear traits: level 1, strength 3, physique 3, intelligence 1, spirit 2, and agility 2. Their special ability was a vicious bite that caused bleeding, combined with group coordination that made them deadly. The bleeding inflicted continuous damage for 3 seconds with no cooldown, only pain. Linny did not hesitate. Weapon in hand, he stood tall and ready. These wolves were not just savage, their fang-based attacks tore prey apart and triggered relentless bleeding. The moment they sensed an intruder, the pack lunged at him in waves. He smirked and activated Reversal of the Universe. A crimson beam shot upward as he made his first move, Inverse Healing. Designed to restore life, the reverse skill dealt 50 damage instead, killing a wolf instantly. He took no damage and gained 10 experience points. A burst of red flame followed, scorching the lead wolves where they stood. When they tried to counterattack, his bite reversal triggered, healing him for 20 HP while reflecting the damage back at them. Blade flashing, he struck again, this time unleashing the forbidden technique, Reverse Purification. The skill instantly drained the wolves' entire magic reserves and locked them in place. Chains formed around their bodies as their energy was siphoned away until they collapsed. One wolf fell, then another and another. None could withstand his onslaught. He glanced at the corpses scattered across the ground. 10 experience points per wolf. If he cleared them all, reaching level 4 would be easy. But his real target lay deeper within the dungeon's hidden boss. Even a level gap would not stop him. Suddenly, a wolf leapt from the shadows. He reacted instantly. Inverse Healing had just come off cooldown. One strike was all it took. The wolf dropped. He brushed off the shallow scratch and thought calmly that he had prepared for this moment in every detail. Level differences meant nothing once the enemy was dead. Combat mode ended. He deactivated Reversal of the Universe and used Purification one final time to conclude the fight. Level up achieved. Level 2 reached. All attributes increased. Combat power enhanced. Skills upgraded. 2 free attribute points acquired. Without a second thought, Linny poured both attribute points into intelligence. His reasoning was simple. His ability did not rely on taking damage, and his mana regenerated continuously. Increasing intelligence meant more power, higher damage, and faster kills when using Reversal of the Universe. Outside the dungeon, the principal's eyes narrowed as a red warning flashed across the map. That area, the Forbidden Zone, was strictly off-limits during training. He clenched his jaw in disbelief. Was that student really heading for the hidden boss, the 5-star Wolf King? His thoughts raced. Unless that boy's hidden talent surpassed even mythical rank, this should be impossible. Stroking his white beard, the principal closed his eyes and let out a heavy sigh. Regret washed over him. If only the boy had revealed his talent. All he could do now was hope he made it out alive. His concern did not go unnoticed. Someone beside him chuckled and teased him for worrying so much, suggesting they place a bet instead. One of them claimed the boy would break the record. Their attention shifted back to the dungeon feed on the screen. But someone frowned and pointed out that the top-ranked player was still that girl. She was talented, but her execution was unstable. Inside the dungeon, the scene changed to Mumu. She was moving through the forest with 2 companions when a wild wolf suddenly charged at them at lightning speed. Without hesitation, she cast Ice Condensation, freezing the beast in its tracks. Her teammates gasped in amazement, praising how incredible she was. The wolf fell, but Mumu suddenly froze, sensing danger. She shook her head and said it was not over. 2 more wolves emerged, drawn by the noise. Panic surged through her. Her rushed movements alerted nearby monsters, forcing the group to flee and retreat. As she grabbed her friends and ran, despair filled her thoughts. She believed she had ruined everything and shattered her image as the goddess. But she quickly realized they could not keep running forever. Gritting her teeth, Mumu skidded to a stop and threw herself in front of her teammates, ordering them to get behind her. With sharp focus, she cast 2 life imitation spells, followed immediately by another ice condensation. Red, pink, and icy blue lights tore through the air as the spells struck their targets. Ice shards ripped through the wolves, and at last the beasts collapsed. For now, they were safe. Mumu wiped the sweat from her brow and let out a long breath of relief, saying quietly that the area seemed clear as they retreated back toward the outer zone. Watching from outside, the principal gently stroked his beard and smiled calmly, remarking that she was still holding up well. The figure beside him replied softly that without true combat drive, talent alone would never be enough to carry her. Meanwhile, deep within the replica world, a rabbit wandered aimlessly through the forest until it suddenly jolted in terror. A wolf's body crashed down nearby, lifeless. It had been asleep moments ago, now completely defeated. The status board flickered, showing level 3. Linny grinned, just a little more. This pace was perfect. If he cleared the rest, he would reach level 4 easily. Then a low growl echoed through the forest. Linny turned toward the sound, instantly alert. "It's here," he whispered as he brushed aside the grass. He saw it at last, the pack leader, the Dark Wolf King. Level 5, Power 10, Endurance 9, Intelligence 3, Spirit 7, Speed 5. Its abilities included Bite, Bleed, Howl, and Slash. It was far larger than any other wolf, with a massive tail and burning eyes that radiated raw dominance. As it prowled through the depths of the forest, its presence alone crushed weaker beasts. The wild wolves bowed to its will, tearing apart enemies without hesitation. This creature was not merely strong, it was a hidden boss, a nightmare recorded in the Academy's archives. Countless prodigies had tried to challenge it. Some survived with permanent scars, others never returned. That region of the forest had long been declared forbidden. Linny stayed hidden, crouched behind a thick tree as he observed in silence. The wolves were still circling, he noted. Like ordinary beasts, they sometimes wandered for better positions instead of returning directly to the den. Their patrol patterns had gaps. That was his opening. He moved instantly, reappearing behind an unsuspecting wolf and locking it down before it could react. A notification appeared. 50 reverse damage dealt. Target eliminated. 10 experience points gained. Linny looked down at the corpse, his eyes cold and emotionless. Annoying mutants, but perfect for grinding. Once I'm strong enough, I'll take the king head on. And so it continued. One by one, the Dark Wolf King's pack fell. Linny's level steadily climbed as the forest echoed with clash after clash, each swing of his blood-red blade slicing through the silence. His status updated again, level 4. But then something changed. The Dark Wolf King's eyes suddenly flared, sharp and dangerously aware. It had sensed him. Linny narrowed his gaze and murmured calmly that it had finally caught on. Fine then, time to change the game. The beast before him was no longer just powerful, it was monstrous. Its health exceeded 2,000, its mana surpassed 1,000, its attack power reached 500, and its defense stood at 200. Its stats dwarfed those of ordinary wolves by more than 50 times. Any novice would be ripped apart instantly. If not killed on the spot, they would be toyed with until death came slowly. With a thunderous snarl, the Dark Wolf King charged forward, but Linny stood his ground and met the attack head-on. A crimson flash burst outward as the blow landed, and the beast snarled in fury. Linny simply smiled and thanked it, remarking that the hit had helped loosen his muscles. A faint blue glow wrapped around his body. The damage did not hurt him, it revitalized him instead. He remained still, letting the healing waves wash over him as his mind stayed calm. As expected from a divine tier talent, he thought, the wolf's attacks only refueled him. If it kept attacking like this, defeating it would be easy. Even as the night dragged on, the Dark Wolf King showed no signs of exhaustion. It growled low, preparing another strike. Linny smirked and taunted it, asking if it was finished yet. That provocation snapped the beast's restraint. Blue energy flared in its eyes as it activated a standard assault. Its claws slashed through the air, but Linny dodged at the last moment. The strike smashed into the ground, tearing open a massive crack. The wolf bared its jagged fangs and rose again, ready to pounce. Linny sneered and said it was already too late. The Dark Wolf King launched itself forward once more, blue sparks dancing in its eyes. Linny calmly noted that if the pack were still alive, he might have needed to put in more effort, but now the beast stood alone. His blade rose, his gaze sharpened, and his healing skill came off cooldown. A crimson beam shot into the sky, crashing down on the wolf and slamming it into the ground. A notice flashed immediately. Dark Wolf King defeated. 1,000 experience points gained. Level up. Level 5 reached. Instance complete, Wolf Forest. The summary screen appeared. A lower-tier bronze treasure chest was obtained. All hidden objectives were completed. The final boss was eliminated without using damaging skills. 30 wild wolves were slain. The evaluation result displayed an SSS rank. A bonus reward followed, an extra-large high-tier silver treasure chest. Linny grinned in satisfaction. If reverse healing had not been classified as non-damaging, he knew there was no way he would have achieved an SSS rank anywhere else. Outside the dungeon, the notice board lit up. The Wolf Forest instance had been cleared. All hidden achievements were completed. Final rating, SSS. The crowd erupted in disbelief. People shouted in shock, unable to believe what they had witnessed, scrambling to take pictures as history was made. Even the principal could not hide his amazement. An SSS rating in that instance meant every hidden condition had been cleared. As far as he remembered, only Linny had entered the forbidden zone. The person beside him raised an eyebrow, questioning how such a result was even possible, noting that an SSS score required a no-damage clear condition. Beating that dungeon solo was almost unthinkable. The people outside erupted into chatter, voices overlapping in disbelief. No one had ever heard of a seeded player showing that level of performance. Some even wondered if he was a transfer student. Even Mumu looked stunned. She had barely scraped an A- rating and had nearly paid for it with her life. She murmured softly that she did not even know how to feel anymore. Back inside the instance, Linny was smiling, relaxed and almost joyful. The run had gone even better than he expected. Then his expression sharpened as he gave the command to open the treasure chest. Golden light burst out as the chest unlocked and revealed its contents. A high-tier silver treasure chest was activated. The rewards included a magic weapon therapy skill book, 5 free attribute points, and a silver-grade equipment piece, the Dark Dagger. Linny examined the loot calmly. The Dark Dagger increased attack power by 50 points, boosted armor penetration by 10 points, and granted a 5% chance to inflict bleeding with every strike. Next came the skill Divine Aura Therapy, an active ability that blessed allies within a 10-meter radius, instantly restoring 100 HP and granting additional healing of 10 HP per second for 10 seconds. The mana cost was 50, with a cooldown of 20 seconds. Linny's excitement was obvious. Then the system triggered the reversed version. Reverse Divine Weapon Therapy was learned. A level 1 active skill that unleashed an evil aura within 10 meters, cursing all enemies and instantly reducing their HP by 100. The skill came with a brutal follow-up effect, blood loss lasting 10 seconds, draining 20 HP per second. Mana cost was 45, with a 20-second cooldown. Linny observed the crimson aura swirling around him, clearly satisfied. The cooldown was a bit long and the mana cost was heavy, but those were early game limits. Pillars of red light erupted upward, piercing the sky. For this stage, the damage output was overwhelming. He grinned to himself. With this combined with his energy recovery trick, he had essentially unlocked infinite cooldown loops. Even top-tier mage classes could not compete with that. As for the dagger, he decided he would sell it to some rich second-generation kid. It would serve as his down payment for the future. His uncle and aunt had already done enough for him. He would no longer rely on their money. After double-checking the loot, his attention shifted to the still-glowing notice board. 5 free attribute points shone brightly. His smile widened. This was a jackpot. Free attribute points were rare, aside from the 2 gained per level, and could only be obtained through elite missions, hidden treasure chests, or top-tier dungeon clears. Without an S rank or higher, players received nothing. But an SSS rating granted an extra 5, no questions asked. He did not hesitate. All 5 points went straight into intelligence. From this moment on, he declared that he would fully max out his magic system and become the most ruthless, most twisted priest this world had ever seen.